have some kind of technical difficulties because all the time the stream is kicking me out, and actually my internet provider is actually not working either. So I don't know, is it the problem in Finland or is it problem in the PSN servers at the moment? But we're gonna test it out. The stream is alive, but I don't know. It might kick me out of the stream at any time soon. So. But we're gonna start with the pre-race podcasts, and he's in a party. Of course, they're in a party. They're always in a party. They're always in a public parties, and that's why I cannot invite them. So I have to go to manually and invite them manually. So, guys, if you're in a party, please make it private for me, just for me, guys. I beg of you. So but the stream is currently working at the moment. That's what I think. And there we go. We have first viewer already, and yeah, third time the stream is working. Third time was the charge, so we're gonna get random 3 to 4 drivers to the interview box to ask about the race, about the track itself, and we have Snookster 007 for the first time appearing in the pre-race podcast. So welcome to the show, I guess.
Hello.
Do you have voiceovering on?
Yes, I do.
Alright, so Mexico, 17 corner track, 4 last races remaining in EFL. You've been scoring points quite consistently, but also you've had those little bit misfortunes in races where you DNF. So tell your personal views about Mexico and your chances in today's race.
Well, I've had some good practice leading up to this race. I feel pretty good on Mexico. Compared to Japan last week, I feel quite confident going into the race, as you know, Japan didn't really work out for me last week, but yeah, I'm feeling confident.
You're feeling confident, and what are the key elements you have to avoid, or basically you have to do to be successful in Mexico?
Consistency is key, especially at most tracks, but I think at Mexico consistency is key because it's quite a high-speed track, especially with like the S section and the long straight. So I think if you have consistency, I think you might have a good race, yeah.
And last question, what position do you think you will finish, or what positions you will fight, if you have to now guess quickly?
I'm hoping for maybe a few more points, you know, like an 8th or 7th, but I don't know, I'll have to find out.
Well, of course, the safety cars are gonna come out in the races, so you never know what's gonna be your position in the end. But thank you for joining today's pre-race podcast, and any message for the fans, if you have fans watching.
Hope you enjoy the race.
Hope you enjoy the race. Thank you very much. That was a good answer, good interview. Thank you, man. Good luck for the race. So there we go. That was Snookster 007's interview. So. Next driver we're gonna get is P2 in the Drivers' Championship, and that is New Zealand Cam. And I know he's in a public party. I'm not even gonna watch it, so I'm gonna invite him to manually. I have to write his name because in this PSN you can invite somebody, but if they're in a public party, you can't use their profile to invite people. So that's one fender bender, in my opinion, in PSN, you know, communications. That you have to go, if somebody's in a public party, you have to manually write their name. But other new viewers who are joining, welcome towards EFL stream round 18 here in Mexico. And like usually, we're gonna start with pre-race podcasts, and we already heard Snookster 007's interview, so now we're waiting driver who is P2 in the Drivers' Championship. We're gonna wait for his interview if he's gonna come to the party. He has exactly 30 seconds to come to the party before I will find another driver. And then after that we're gonna hear the national anthem of the hosting country. There we go, as I said, New Zealand Cam, P2 in the Drivers' Championship. Good evening. Oh, he's just left from the party. Some technical difficulties. There's been a lot of technical difficulties lately in PSN, so welcome to the party, man. So, do you have a voice going on?
Yeah.
So, this is clutch time, crunch time for you. You are P2 in the Drivers' Championship. VRT Sapele not racing here today because of the VRT event. Now you have a big chance to make that 65-point gap a little bit smaller before the ending races in USA, Brazil, and of course double points weekend in Abu Dhabi. So, what is your mentality? What is New Zealand camp thinking before this race in Mexico?
Well, obviously, it helps that he's not here, but the way I look at it, if I look at the championship and then this is make or break, he's going to break. So the way I'm looking at it, I'm just going to drive like I normally do. I'm just going to, well, give it everything and just try and get on the podium. I'm not really focused too much of getting the gap down because I know if I focus on that too much, I'll end up putting it in the wall.
But yeah, you must be a little bit nervous, or how your mentality has changed, because in the first part of the season you were in P5 and P6 in the Drivers' Championship, and now after like Monza and Singapore, you are legitimately the driver who's been rising so much from the early part of the season. So how has it changed now for you that you're basically in a big boys table?
Well, for me, I don't see it as an opportunity to just fight for the championship, because I've never been in a fight for a title before. The way I see it is, I've finally got the chance to just prove that I'm capable of fighting up at the top, and I'm just using it to kind of just show that I don't crack too much under pressure.
Alright, thank you very much, man, and I hope you enjoy this race, and hopefully you'll get good results for yourself and for the championship, of course, for the viewers. So, by the way, last question before I leave. Any message for the fans, viewers who are rooting for you in this Drivers' Championship?
Just sit there and enjoy the race, because it's not often you'll see me at the top. So just enjoy the race. I'll be as high as I possibly can. I won't leave anything on the table tonight. I'm just gonna give it all.
You're gonna give it all. That's very good to see. You're talking like a true champion already. So go ahead and enjoy the race. Do what you can.
Yep. You too, buddy.
Yeah. See you, man. So there we go. We heard a driver who's P2 in the Drivers' Championship, and also P3 driver in the Drivers' Championship, Sevap Titi. He's not able to join here today. So both Germans are out of the Grand Prix here today. So that's German mentality for you. Both have personal issues. But ladies and gentlemen, before we start the qualifying and the race, like usually, we're gonna hear the hosting country's national anthem. So, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Mexico.
Mexicanos al grito de guerra, el acero a prestar y el bridón, y retiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Y retiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Signor patria, tus sienes de oliva, de la paz el arcángel divino, que en el cielo tu eterno destino por el dedo de Dios se escribió. Mas si osare un extraño enemigo profanar con sus plantas tu suelo, pienso patria querida que el cielo un soldado en cada hijo te dio, un soldado en cada hijo te dio. Mexicanos al grito de guerra, el acero a prestar y el bridón, y retiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón, y retiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón.
And there we go, that was the national anthem of Mexico, very beautifully sang. And now, I don't think everybody else is gonna come, so this is the grid we're gonna have here today. And somebody has disconnected, so I'm just gonna invite them once more. So I'll probably get a message who got it disconnected. So there we go. He's probably... Who got disconnected? I'm gonna... LPY, can you please take off spectator mode, please? I have to wait for him. LPY, put spectator off. And J Prentice, please, you can take also the spectator off. You just press circle. Press circle. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now it's readying up. We can ready up the stream, and we have already 9 viewers for this race today. And championship standings, unfortunately, I can't get them to the picture in the stream. So, guys, if you know how to put pictures in live streams, I would really appreciate it. But now ready to go. But I can say about the Drivers' Championship, Viatisa Pale LA, before last 4 rounds, including this Mexican Grand Prix, last weekend being the double points weekend, leads the championship by 65 points to New Zealand Cam, and Viati Seip is not racing here today, and a driver who is 67 points behind Viati Seip in P3, Sevap Cici, he's not racing here either, so both German drivers are out. So that will mean New Zealand Cam, if you can win the race, the gap will more than likely be only 40 points. So, and 40 points, and when you have double points weekend, it's basically nothing. So, and it looks like we have 18 drivers here today. It's not great, but it's solid, it's solid. And we have some comments here today. Hey love, hey fella, no optimistic tonight, and Delta voting, it was tech. Alright, it was tech. I feel you, man. But there we go. Qualifying race is about to start. 17 corner track in this other drama Mexican Grand Prix. But I can tell you about this track. It's correct me if I'm wrong, but it's kind of like high in the mountains. So that will mean you need a higher downforce setup for this track. Even though we have two long straight lines in the track in the first corners. In my opinion, you need to have very high downforce setup, like 4-7 wings, 5-7 wings, 5-8 wings, 4-8 wings. So, if I'm incorrect, could you please, some experts who know about this stuff, know what's the best setup for Mexico? Like, we can get the viewers writing also, because I can assume you are all very experienced drivers in your own leagues, or you've seen somebody else drive. So please write. What do you think is the best setup for Mexico? Higher downforce wings or lower downforce wings for defending in a straight line? Because tire wear is absolutely very high here, so I could assume it's going to be high downforce setup to keep the tires alive. And we have Lito Manino, who's unfortunately left from the session. I'm going to put myself online quickly, but yeah, write in the comments. What do you think about what's better, the high downforce setup or low downforce setup? And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 18 right here in Mexico in EFL Season 1. I'm your owner, commentator of the night, Eric Salama. And yeah, like I said, 17 corner track in this beautiful Mexican Grand Prix. Viati Seip, the championship leader, not racing here today. P2 in the Drivers' Championship. New Zealand Cam has the best chance in his life right now to make the gap smaller in the championship at the moment. So I'm gonna quickly read some comments. I'm gonna quickly read Twitter comments and PSN comments. Does anybody have any problems of joining or anything else? So before we're gonna start the qualifying, or before the first driver will start a lap, I'm gonna just quickly check the messages. You know, it's very hard to do this alone. One moment. Alright, there we go, no problems at all. I'm gonna quickly check the stream's comments. So there we go, if you could wait me a second, there we go, we have laptop now, and we have a new comment from New Zealand Cam, 4 out of 7, bro, yeah, 4-7 wings, just like I suspected. So it's a high downforce track, and we have few drivers out with a medium set of tires. We have a lot of drivers in the softs. Then we have Jack King, who is the only driver with hard set of tires. So I don't know if the safety car is of course on, and we're gonna see who will be the first driver to start a lap. It's gonna be New Zealand Cam, or it's gonna be somebody else. And I think it's gonna be New Zealand Cam. I believe we have all the telemetry correct. So yeah, New Zealand Cam will show you the first lap around Mexico, P2 in the Drivers' Championship. So the championship is going to be between Viati Seip, New Zealand Cam, and still the Sevap Cici, because it's, as long as it's mathematically possible, it is possible. It's not over until the fat lady sings. That's the saying I've been basically saying my whole life. So New Zealand Cam coming towards the end of Sector 1. We'll see what Sector 1 time he's gonna set for everybody else. And Sector 1 time is 28.2, and he put the purple in Sector 1. Of course, being the first driver to, you know, set a decent first lap in Sector 1. And Imedy has left from the session, so we have few technical difficulties in PSN side. I can vouch for that because it took me 3 or 4 attempts to stop this stream. But New Zealand Cam doing those tricky S corner sections where you can easily invalidate. But he survived those really beautifully. And sector 2 time is going to be 56.817. With the mediums, of course. And I believe the lap time will be around 114 and 115. It's been quite a while since I've driven in Mexico. Probably in this game only once. So if you excuse me, I don't know what's the best time for Mexico. And Trent set it 116.5. And that lap was beaten by New Zealand Cam by 6 thousandths of a second. And so Cam is in provisional pole position. Jack King in P3. Quickly checking, and we have DSI Tech going to P3 also. Callum Anderson doing 116.4, provisional pole position also for him. Apologize, I have to find who is in the closest drive to finish the lap, and it is Snookster 007 in a Ferrari, and Felix Negua set it at 115.3, making a provisional pole position time over 1.1 seconds faster than current P2 time. So that was a very good opening start from Felix Negua, the German driver in Toro. So he got promoted from reserve to regular, and basically every single race he's driven in EFL, all 4 races he's finished in the podium, except that Singapore Grand Prix where he finished P10. And purple sector 2 for Delta F1, our only Russian driver right here in EFL. So is it gonna be Russian party in Mexico? Are we gonna leave from Russia with love? I know it's a bad joke, it's from James Bond movie, but hey, let me have it. And Delta F1 117 flat moves himself to P8 position. We have a few new comments. I'm gonna check them out very quickly. If you catch mind for a few seconds. He's invalidated. Gravity has set his lap time. So we have Kevin Aspect in his lap. And before he comes to the S sections, I'm gonna check a few comments from Maurice Herpel. Felix gonna win. I'm Felix supporter, so we have Felix supporter in the stream at the moment, so probably friend of Felix. So thank you very much, Maurice Herpel. I hope I said your name correct. He is part of Felix's fan club. So yeah, and Pierre Hansen, while me reading comments, has moved himself to P2 position. So Pierre Hansen 115 and 8. So that's very impressive lap from Pierre Hansen, and we'll see what the Aspect is going to do. He's going to do 115.8, which is going to move him to P3 position. We have Delta F1 in his lap, also doing his second lap, improving by 1/10. Once again doing purple in sector 2. But I don't know, the game gives him purple sector 2, maybe he has high downforce, but he's losing so much time in sector 1. And yeah, he's invalidated his lap. So that probably explains the purple sector 2 thing. We have DSI Tech in a lap also. He's down by 9/10, so he will not be improving his lap time. We have LPY doing we're gonna see what sector 1 time he will be having. So we have a new comment from New Zealand Cam, who has time to ride and time to drive the car and fight for the championship. That's what I call promotion. That's what I call self-esteem. That's what I call charisma. You have time for your fans, then you have time to ride, then you have time to drive. Rhyming accidentally. And Amadi doing purple in sector 1, and Felix Negua improves his provisional pole position by 6/10 by doing a 114 and 8. The first driver in EFL and in this qualifying session to get to 114s. So that's very, very impressive for him, and Amadi wants a little bit wide, but we'll see how is his sector 2 gonna be, and he is doing purple in sector 2. So we'll see how this Scottish driver is going to do. Oh, and he's crashed out with the Red Bull. He has crashed out with the Red Bull. Was that Pierre Hansen? Or was that New Zealand Cam? Was New Zealand Cam. And New Zealand Cam has gotten a 5-place quit penalty with collision with Amadi. And Amadi was going on pole position, but that New Zealand Cam's AI or car blocked him completely. And P2 in the Drivers' Championship is going to get a 5-place quit penalty. And also Amadi's pole position time, or close to pole position time, is going to be thrown in the garbage bin. Just like that. Jesus Christ, that was I don't know, was he AI or was he driving, but new comment from Cam. That was an okay lap on mediums, so this probably shows that Cam, you probably need to focus on driving and not riding. That's the best thing. And let's see, Callum Anderson is in his lap. They're gonna keep a close eye on him. We have yellows in sector 1, Probably somebody just corner cutting, or it's from full map I can see it's probably a Renault or Haas. I can't really see that. And new comment from Cam. I didn't see him, alright, but the game gave you a 5-place grid penalty. So alright, so Callum Anderson is in his lap. And we're gonna see what lap he's gonna be able to do. I believe that's his second or third race ever in EFL. No podiums so far for Callum Anderson. He has completely lost it, and that's his lap over. And that lap is gonna be thrown to the garbage bin with the rest of the laps. But we're gonna give him a chance. We're gonna see sector 2 time is 59.1. Okay, he's 2.3 seconds down on his personal best. RPC has, and we have Snookster 007 who moved himself to P3, and Vega Visuals has moved himself to P2 with 115 flat. And now that VAT Safe is away, it will give some new drivers chance to finish in a podium, or have a new drivers who have chance to win the race actually. So we're gonna quickly check how is the corner cutting a strict formation lap on, safety car on. Thank God I remember that. I was so afraid I forgot the safety car on, because sometimes I've never failed to not remember it, but I'm always afraid that someday I will not remember it. So we're gonna follow Delta once again. Apologize if I don't get every single driver's lap when they improve, but I'll try to get to all of them. There's 18 drivers, so it's not so easy to, you know, to keep an eye on all of them. But Delta F1 coming towards those tricky S sections very soon. New comment from Cam. I was backing off because of cars in front of the stadium. Alright. So Delta F1. I don't know, is he gonna get third here because of the Renault car, or is gonna be able to drive his lap cleanly or not? But we'll see how his sector 2 time is gonna be, and it's gonna be a 56.3, and he's improving by 1 second of his personal best lap time. So but he is getting compromised by that Renault driver. I believe that Renault driver is also in a lap, because we have both Renaults in. They don't have that out lap thing in the left. So Delta F1 has moved himself to P7 with 115.9. So that was a very good lap from him, and DSI Tech did a 116.1, which moves him to P8 position, and we're gonna see what Amadi is able to do. But first and most, Little Manino, who last race finished first time in a podium in EFL. Only in his second race in EFL he was able to finish in a podium. He won the race technically, but because of his penalties it gave VRT Sape the win, and he finished in P2 in that race. So Little Manino, maybe he wants to get some contribution from Japan. Maybe he wants to win the race for a change, and that makes sure that he will not get pole position, at least with this one. But we're gonna give him a chance. We're gonna see what lap time he's gonna do. He lost his car completely, and that moves him to P5, just behind his teammate Kevin Aspect. And we have New Zealand Cam, who moves himself to P2. 114.9 for Cam, but he has that 5-place quit penalty. So that's gonna make his chances lot more difficult. But a good lap from Cam. Pierre Hansen has moved himself to P4 position. That was very good to see. Amadi is in the pits. Jay Prentice is in his lap. And Felix Negua improved his personal best and did a 114.3, over 6/10 quicker than New Zealand Cam. But of course Cam having that 5-place quit penalty. Vega Visuals is currently in P2. Pierre Hansen is currently in P3. Aspect P4. Romanino in P5. And then Say is going to be in P6. 6 minutes remaining in the qualifying session so far. We're going to keep a close eye on Callum Anderson, and he runs wide, and I believe that's his lap over because of it. But let's see, the sector 1 time is going to affect the sector 1, and yes, he's over. He's only 110 down, so we might actually keep an eye on it. And we have yellows in sector 3. And we have a new comment coming. Bear with me, guys. I'm gonna check the comments very quickly. And Jesus Christ, Callum Anderson is in a lot of traffic. He's basically doing with 0 EOS in S sections. Maybe he believes that his car snaps with a higher EOS, and that's why he's driving with that. Or then he's just lifted off. And yeah. Okay, we're gonna RP James moves himself to P3 position. We have a Delta F1 in 0 EOS, basically. And we have Snookster 007 in the lap, and we also have Felix Negua probably in the lap. I believe he's going back to the pitch, but we're gonna keep an eye on Snookster 007. I'm gonna check the new comment. Landfish Bro ER is saying hello, good evening. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the EFL stream. I'm the owner and commentator of EFL F1, also known as Eric Salama. And you're following round 18 of Mexican Grand Prix of qualifying, and we're gonna see what lap Snookster is gonna set. Actually, he's gonna start his qualifying lap at the moment, so I apologize for that. So we're gonna go keep an eye on him for a change, except if there's somebody who's closer to finishing a lap. And Mega Visuals is it is qualifying one. He's just doing those tricky S section corners of Mexican Grand Prix of Mexico. The corner combinations of 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11, and I can assure you guys all this information is coming from www.wikipedia.org. So if you want a good information, please go visit the good side of wikipedia.org, and if you put a discount Eric, you will get a discount. He called Eric, you will get a discount of 20%. And Vega Visuals is set at lap time 1:14.7, and it moves him to P2 position just ahead of Cam, who's been dropped to P3, and Pierre Hansen has been dropped to P4 position. And we're gonna see what Snookster is able to do. He's improving by 4.5 tenths of his lap time. So we're gonna see if it's gonna be a swing or a miss from this Ferrari driver, as Ferrari is in 9th place in the Constructors' Championship. So the season for Tifosi hasn't been what they've been expecting, but maybe they're gonna get some rewards in this race. And Pierre Hansen, as we thought from the session, so that's his qualifying over. Snookster has moved himself to P5 position, as we have 3 minutes remaining in a qualifying session. So far, DSI Tech has messed up his lap time, and there's a Ferrari in a lap who is LPY. So, and he's improving by 2 tenths, a little bit more than 2 tenths, as we have 2 minutes 44 seconds remaining in a qualifying session so far. We're gonna see what LPY is able to do. He's coming to cross the line, and he sets a 116.7, improves by 3 tenths, but doesn't move him any places. The gravity is corner cutting, but the game is not invalidating it. So what on earth was that? Game is not invalidating it. I'm a little bit confused, but he put by 1.7 seconds, so I'm not quite sure how on earth he's able to do this. I'm a little bit shocked, guys. How on earth is Gravity able to do that? And he's going back to the pits. But in my screen, even the full track map didn't go red. So I'd have to see. Did it actually invalidate his lap or not? I mean, he would have been disqualified anyways. But I'm just curious. And yeah, it's invalidated. It's invalidated. Yeah. But the game didn't show it got invalidated. It just saw that he's in a running lap, and New Zealand Cam has just set it at 114.6, but still 3 tenths down from Felix Negua's lap time. And of course that 5 place quit penalty collision with Amedy, as Amedy is gonna go out for a final one. LPY has just finished this qualifying. I don't think he has enough time, and New Zealand Cam is retired from the session, so that's Cam's night over. And we're gonna see he's gonna be P7 all over his final position because of that 5 place quit penalty. And towards the all new viewers who are coming towards the stream, do not adjust your sets. This is EFL 118 Season 1 Mexican Grand Prix qualifying, and then race of 50%. And we have RPC who's starting his flying lap very shortly. We actually have few drivers in the laps, and Delta F1 is going to be one of them, and he sets a 116.6, which moves him to P9 position. We have RP James in the lap. He's just basically started his lap. Callum Anderson has started his lap also. Jay Prentice has started his lap also. So I believe the closest driver to finish the lap actually is going to be Callum Anderson. So we're going to keep a close eye on him, as he's now coming towards the end of Sector 1, which he's 23,000 seconds down on his personal best. And now he's coming towards the... He's gonna come towards the tricky corners 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11 combinations, which I like to call the S corners, because they remind the letter S. obviously, and very easy to corner cut, very easy to lose your car in these corner sections. He wants a little bit wide, but the game doesn't invalidate for a little bit track extending in that part of the track, and he's improving by over 7.5 tenths of his lap time. So if he makes this improvement, it would approximately move him to P7 or P6 position. But we're gonna see what his final sector is gonna be. It's gonna be swing or miss, and we have RP James, who's moved himself to P4 with 1:14.9. So we have 4 drivers in 14 lap times, and Callum Anderson moves himself to P9 position with 1:15.5. Little Manino is in his lap time. Kevin Aspect is in his lap time. So we're going to see what Little Manino is able to do. But first we have a Haas driver of Delta F1 probably in a lap, and his qualifying is over. So we're going to keep an eye on Little Manino. We're going to see what he's going to set. As Callum Anderson has left from the session. He has left from the session. So Little Manino is going to set a 1:14.2, and that's a new pole position there by Little Manino. Redemption from Japan, and once again Little Manino taking front row lockout, and we're going to see what Felix Negro is going to do. That would be the first pole position for Little Manino. Imadi moves himself to P4 position with 1:14.7, but what is Felix Negro going to do? Driver who's finished in every single race in the podium. He's going to set a 1:14.3, but it's not enough. It's less than 1/10 slower than Little Manino's, but we also have Trent Esteen a lap, and his qualifying is over. So that was really amazing top 3. Really amazing. Jesus Christ, what a top 3. So you're qualifying right now. Juan Manino in pole position, Felix Negro in P2, Amadi in P3, Vega Visuals in P4, Obi James in P5, Pierre Hansen in P6, New Zealand Cam in P7, Snookston in P8, Kevin Aspect in P9, Callum Anderson in P10, then P11 Shea, Delta Tech, Jack King, Trent, Gravity, LPY, and Jay Prentice. Nobody retiring from the qualifying session, as I'm gonna quickly save the clip and take screenshots, because of course we're gonna do race highlights. And if some viewers don't know, we have a rule in EFL: if you disconnect from the race, you're not allowed to come back in, because that will allow you to corner cut. And in Mexico, if you corner cut, you're gonna gain so much time. So other drivers, remember, if you disconnect from race, you are not, I repeat, you are not allowed to rejoin. You're not allowed to rejoin back. As I'm writing it to the, also to the PSN chat, we went through this in last race in Suzuka, but if some new drivers don't know about it, and we have Cam Whiting fight to the field. Tell Callum he isn't allowed back. Well, he disconnected in qualifying, so technically if he disconnected in qualifying, if you disconnect in qualifying, you're allowed to come back, but if you disconnect from the race, you're not allowed to come back. But it's too late. He disconnected, and doesn't look like his AI is returned back, so we have 17 drivers in the race. So even though he would come back, it's too late, because the countdown has already started. So we're gonna have 17 drivers for the race. It's not great, but it's solid. It's solid. For one division, it should be always a full grid for every single race, but what you're gonna do, it's better than nothing. And I lost all the voices. There we go, I have voices back. I'm gonna enable all the track data, and I'll be going to the grid. How does David Croft always say? Going to the grid, in pole position we have today Little Manino in Williams. P2 goes to Toronto drivers Felix Negua, second front row lockout in EFL. P3 goes to Irish driver in Renault, Imadi. P4 goes to Vega Visuals in Racing Point team. P5 for the Mercedes-AMG Petronas team is RP James T. P6 Red Bull Racing drivers Tia and Pierre Hansen in P6. Snookster 007 in P7 with Ferrari. New Zealand Cam with that 5-place grid penalty is going to be P8 in his Red Bull Racing Aston Martini. P9 goes to Williams Racing Martini drivers Kevin Harrison, also known as Aspect 05. P10 Racing Point driver Callum Anderson, who's in the grid. He made it back to the grid. P11 goes to RPC in Alfa Romeo. P12 has F1 teams Delta F1, Wasson Miracle. P13 Renault drivers TSI Tech. P14 McLaren Racing drivers Jack King 32, who is going to start the race on hard set of tyres. Trent T21 in his Mercedes-AMG Petronas car in P15. Gravity 151 in his debut with Haas. P16 Ferrari driver LPY in P17 with hard set of tyres, and last place goes to Jay Prentice in Towaso with hard set of tyres. As Michael Buffer used to say, Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Drivers, start your engines. We have 36 rounds of main event of EFL Division 1. So let's get ready to rumble! As we have Little Manino, Felix, Amdi, Vega Visuals, RP James, Pierre Hansen, Snookster, New Zealand Cam, Aspect, Callum Anderson, Shay, Delta, DSI Tech, Jack King 32, Trent HT, Gravity, LPY, J Prentice, lining up to the grid. And it's gonna be gang, gang, bang, bang, cowboy eating, champagning, campaigning, muscling with hustling kind of ways here today, ladies and gentlemen, with the most entertaining commentator of all time, EFL and SF1, also known as Eric Salama. And we're gonna wait until the FIA will get permission for the 5 red lights. And I'm gonna see a little bit better camera angle from the pole position guy. And we have already yellows in sector 3, so it's like game knows something is gonna happen in sector 3, sector 1, and it's 5 lights, and away we go for the Grand Prix of Mexico. And it looks like Felix and Little Manino got a very fantastic start, and Felix is already challenging the Williams driver for P1 position, and Felix is legitimately in P1 position, but there's also Armady behind of Williams is trying to go 3 wide. So who will get the P1 position after first corners? They're gonna go 3 wide, and it looks like Romanino got the position back from Felix Negua, but Felix is still challenging Williams driver Little Manino for position. There is yellows in sector 1, so something has happened in the back between Callum Anderson and RPC. And is Felix gonna dive up the inside of Romanino? No, he's not. So it was a very clean start from the top 8. And we have New Zealand Cables making position. He's just getting ahead of Snookster 007. Wants him a little bit wide, but gets the maneuver done on him. And then we have Kevin Aspect in P8, Pierre Hansen in P9, DSI Tech in P10, Delta in P11, Trent in P12, Jacking 32 in P13, LP1 in P14, Jay Prentice in P15, Gravity in P16, RPC in P17, and Callum Anderson DNS P18. So that's basically our first DNF of the race, or DNS of the race. And we have Delta F1 who's moving into positions, and he gets ahead of DSI Tech for P10 position. Little Manino has over 7th gap to Felix Negua. And is Little Manino gonna win his first race in EFL? He was so close in Japan, leading the whole race, but then losing it on penalties to Beate Sape, as Romanino of course setting the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far, followed by Felix Negua, Amadi, and we have a DSI Tech who's pitting. He's pitting, so he's first driver to pit, so he's probably gonna take hards and go to the end, or then he's gonna take softs or mediums and make another stop. So and we have I believe that was a Renault driver of Armady running a little bit wide, and we have yellows in sector 1, and was that Kevin Aspect or was that RPC? There was slight yellows in sector 1, so somebody lost the back end of the cars, or somebody has spun it, but it looks like it's a very clean race so far. No, not major calamity coming, no dead bodies in the races, so looks very clean start for me. And now Little Manino has been able to make over 9/10 gap now to Felix Negua, and New Zealand Cam getting a 3-second lap penalty for multiple warnings. And we have yellow sector 2, and Snookster 007 is out. Snookster is out of the Grand Prix, so whether or not did he retire? And is that going to bring out the safety car here today, ladies and gentlemen? Is that going to bring out the safety car, first safety car in this Grand Prix? Or are we going to survive with VSCs? Doesn't seem like FIA is going to bring any safety cars here today, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't look like it's going to be any safety cars. And we have Kevin Aspect making the maneuver on Delta F1. And we have New Zealand Cam pitting. So his front wing has broken, or end plate has broken. And that's going to promote Pierre Hansen and rest of the guys by 1 position. And not a good start for driver who's fighting for the championship at the moment. Not a good start at all. And Felix Negua is 4/10 behind of Little Manino, and he will get next lap. He will get the DRS wide open, and we have Trent HT 21 making the maneuver on Delta F1. Actually not, they're going side by side with each other, and there we go. He got the maneuver done, but we have 3-way fight for P8 between McLaren, between Haas, and between Mercedes. And who's gonna give in? Who has the bigger cojones? And it looks like Delta got the maneuver back. He got the position back from Trent HT, but they're slowing they're slowing everybody down so much by fighting and a little bit brake checking or something. So yeah, there's about a 6-7 car fight in this battle, but we're gonna keep a close eye on the train which is behind Little Manino. Felix was a little bit wide, And Little Manino is a little bit troubles, and we have Vega Visos who retired. Vega Visos has retired from the session, so where on did he retire? And he's in the middle of the track, and if that's not a safety car, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. He was in the middle of the track, and that's a safety car, ladies and gentlemen. That has brought the first safety car in this Grand Prix so far. And Felix is a little bit frustrated because he would have got past Little Manino this lap, but safety car is out, and who is going to pit? Who is going to take the hard set of tires to the end? Because we know that some drivers might try to take 32 laps with hard set of tires. That's possible. I know it's possible. I've done it in career mode, but career mode is a little bit different, but hey. And the career mode was last year's game, by the way. So, but hey, I know it's possible. As we have somebody's trying it out. Like Delta is going for hard, Trans is going for hard, LPY is going for mediums. Kevin Aspect not pitting, he's staying with the mediums. We're gonna have to wait until the leaders are gonna catch towards the safety car. But before this, I'm gonna just put the value a little bit down because, I mean, not my value, but the game's value, because it's raping my ears. There we go. So if you have any questions, what you wanna ask me, please write them to me, and I will try to answer them as quickly as I can. Safety car is now out. Actually, I'm gonna put it to 9. I'm gonna put the voice to 9. So safety car is out. How many safety cars we're gonna see in this race? That's gonna be a big mystery for me also. Gonna be a very, very fun to see that how many safety cars we will have in this Grand Prix. And we have now Little Manino, Felix Negua, Amadi, RP James. So basically the whole top 4 is pitting. 4 mediums, new mediums. And Felix Negua is pitting also. So is Amadi, RP James. Gravity is pitting. So basically everybody else is pitting except Prentice, who is in hard set of tires, Jack King 32 who is in hard set of tires, and Pierre Hansen who is with soft set of tires. So they're the only ones not to pit. They're basically the only ones not to pit. So yeah, if you have any questions, I don't know what to say anymore, you can write them to me now. We have time to know each other a little bit better, just like in Tinder. Tell me about your age, tell me about what you do, hobbies. Do you like TVs? Do you like movies, series? What do you like to do? What is your favorite sex position? As you know, normal stuff what you do in social situations, basically. So yeah. So please write some questions for me because when safety cars always come, I just completely lose it. I don't know what to say. It's like I don't know what to commentate anymore. Like we have actually I could check how many drivers have done a pit stop. So we have only the top 3 of Pierre Hansen, Jack King 32, and say Prentice in a hot set of tires who have not done a pit stop. So A, they will either think these drivers who have made a pit stop, they're gonna fight each other, or B, they're gonna think another safety car is gonna come in a round of 10 laps, and then they're gonna do their pit stops. But Pierre Hansen not pitting is a little bit. I'm a little bit wondering why he's not pitting. An Aspect got a 5-place quit penalty, I believe, with collision with RP James, and Kevin Aspect is pitting for a new set of tires, and I believe did he lose a front wing? Did he lose an end plate? Vega Visuals has left from the session. And there's a 5-second stop and go for Kevin Harrison. And he's chasing his front wing, front end plate basically, and that's gonna drop him to last place. And New Zealand Cam is pitting also once again for hard set of tires. So he will try to take those hard set of tires to the end. And safety car is still out in this Grand Prix, and as I said, let's get to know each other a little bit better. Tell me your age, tell me where you live, tell me your favorite movies, TV series, you know, like normal social stuff, or ask me questions about my league, anything, Formula 1, anything at all, and I will try to answer them as well as I can, basically. But I believe in this lap the safety car will go out, so New Zealand Cam and Kevin Harrison, they're gonna have, they need to catch these guys in a hurry, and I believe Everybody else except Kevin Harrison have got up to the grid, but I would assume that safety car will be leaving in this lap, and DS are taking a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. So yeah, safety car is in this lap. Safety car is in this lap. So Pia Hansen is gonna drop the pace and lead everybody towards the first corners. And to be in P1 in Mexico when there's like literally 4-3-10 gap to the car behind, it's not the best situation to be, except if you get a good exit. But Pia Hansen is keeping the momentum. He is driving with 80 kph an hour. And now I believe he's slowing down the field, and now it's lights out and away we go, and he pulled away brilliantly. Actually he didn't, the McLaren is going to follow him, and also it's going to Jay Prentice. There's a massive train behind of Pia Hansen, and Pia Hansen is going to be like a sitting duck. His safety car restart didn't work so well, but he's still giving the P1. There's yellows in sector 3, Jay Prentice is overtaking Jack King for position. There's Little Manino who's going side by side, and he's dive bombing, and he's back in P1. He is back in the business in P1. And Jay Prentice is in P2, TMP Hansen is in P3 position, but beautiful overtakes from Little Manino, who's legitimately put himself back to P1 position. RPC getting a penalty for exceeding track limits. Jay Prentice in P2, and Felix Negua and Jack King are going side by side with each other. Who will give in, who will have bigger cojones, and that will look like Felix will get the maneuver down with fresher tires and will move himself to P4 position. And now Jack King is like a sitting duck. They should have pitted, and now Jack King has been dropped to P6 just in a matter of seconds. Pia Hansen is in P3, Jay Prentice is in P2, 1.2 seconds behind of Little Romanino. And now Felix Negua is going side by side with Pia Hansen, who will give in. And it looks like Felix Negua got the maneuver done, and he's right behind his teammate at the moment. And I believe team orders will come in Team of Toro, so like Jay Prentice, Commander Prentice, execute order 66. And there we go, I believe he'll let his teammate go. If he's not, there we go, he's executing the order 66, or should I say execute order multi-21, multi-1-2. And Amity, he has overtaken Pia Hansen for P4 position. Jay Prentice is now in P3, so he will probably get overtaken very shortly, but the longer he can keep everybody else behind, the better it is for Felix Negua, his teammate. As we're already in lap 8 out of 36. And it looks like Jay Prentice is making a little bit good trade. He's keeping everybody good behind. There's a massive train behind of Jay Prentice that will give his teammate over 1 second gap towards everybody else. So nobody's gonna get DOS from his teammate. So Jay Prentice is currently doing a brilliant job with those hard set of tires, and Amity is track extending a little bit, but RP James got a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings, and is Amity going to dive up the inside. They're going side by side with each other, and Amity got the maneuver done, and there's Pia Hansen of Red Bull who is defending from RP James T, and now it looks like Pia Hansen will probably get past of Jay Prentice. So Jay Prentice's pace is not very strong. And we have yellow sector 3, and we have DSR Tech who's retired from the session. DSR Tech has retired from the session, and he's not going to bring another safety car here today, and that's a VSC. That is a VSC, ladies and gentlemen. That is a VSC. And we're going to see how it's going to work between all of these drivers. It is not allowed to track extend. It is not allowed to exploit the VSC glitch in EFL. Like you know, I'm keeping a close eye on people who are doing it, who are gonna go to red. I'm gonna try to look when they go red, and yeah, it's lights out and where we go. And Amity got a little bit of Felix Negua, and it's still 1 second, but he caught him a little bit. Gap between Felix and Little Manino is 2.6 seconds, so that hasn't changed at all. There's a battle for P4, and Pia Hansen has lost it. Oh, he has missed it, and he's collided with Mercedes. He has collided with Mercedes, and that's yellows in Sector 1 and Sector 2. And Pia Hansen has lost his end plate, he's lost his tires, and basically he has to make another pit stop. But we got that on camera. It's a rare thing we can catch it live when we spectate somebody. And Trent HT is 6 tenths behind of Jack King 32, and he's going back to the interesting line from Trent HT. Track extending a little bit from the pit lane, so maybe he's found a new line to take for the last corner. Appy James is going side by side with New Zealand Cam. LPY is going side by side with Trent HT, who will give in, and that looks like it's going to be Trent HT who has to give up. Appy James is getting past of New Zealand Cam, but New Zealand Cam is following him very closely indeed. I'm going to see he's going to dive up the inside of corner 4. He's waiting for better opportunity, and there's yellows in sector 3 once again, and I believe that's Delta. That's Delta who's spun it. Pierre Hansen has just come from the pit stop, and he's going to come back in P12 position. Yellows in sector 3 once again, but no safety cars, nothing is going to come. And we have Mercedes, and Delta has retired, and he has left from the session. And we're going to see, is that going to bring out the safety car here today, ladies and gentlemen? Is that going to bring out the safety car? We have a lot of drivers going wide with each other. He retired in sector 3, so did he retire in pits or did he retire in the track? That's the thing. And Jesus Christ, there's a massive trend behind of LPY. And looks like he retired in the pits. Felix Negro is hitting the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far, which is the fastest lap. And Ferrari, there's a big trend behind the Ferrari driver of LPY. Jack King in P6, Trent in P7, RP James in P8. And we're going to see Jack King is going to try to overtake LPY for position. There's a massive fight going on in the track. There's 2 Mercedes going side by side with each other. Luckily, no damage, no collisions. Everybody's keeping it very clean. There's a massive train. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 car train behind of LPY. So it's from P5 to P11 the train. So it is technically 7 cars, and 2 Mercedes are going side by side with each other. 2 Mercedes, 2 Silver Arrows going side by side, and it looks like Trent takes the defense from RP James. Jack King is still pressurizing LPY for position, and we are just tuning in for lap 11 out of 36, so 25 more laps remaining in this Grand Prix, which has already brought some tears, trauma and safety cars. Everything what a good league race really needs. Am I right? Jack King 32 is pressurizing still LPY, so he will be getting the DRS opened after this lap. LPY is already 2.2 seconds behind of Jay Prentice. Jay Prentice is 6 seconds behind of Armady. So Jay Prentice will make a long stint with that in that race. And this Jesus Christ, this RP James and New Zealand Cam are going inside of each other. Jesus Christ, I know we are not PG guys, but come on, that is not the behavior. That is what belongs to Pornhub. You don't go inside each other in the middle of the race. We've talked about this, guys. Come on. And they're gonna go 3 wide with each other. This will be a real gangbang between Cam, Aspect and RP James as they go side by side with each other. And it looks like RP James has lost 2 positions because of that. And that will promote Aspect and Cam to P9 and P8. But RP James is trying to attack around the outside, and Alpha is diving in the inside of the Mercedes, but doesn't get the maneuver done. Gap between Felix and Romanino is 1.8 seconds. Then gap between Armady and Felix is 1.8 seconds. Jack King 32, 7/10 behind of LPY, so this battle still goes on. So and also the battle between Trent and Jack King is still on. Battle between Cam and Trent is on, and basically there's a big train. Except Kevin Aspect, who is now 1.1 seconds behind of New Zealand Cam, but I think he's gonna make that gap less than 1 second very shortly. Jack King 32 will once again open his DRS, and they're a little bit lap by lap catching towards Jay Prentice, who is in P4 position. And RP James in a Mercedes is making a pit stop. Second pit stop of the race, and Jack King really not pushing in a straight line, just keeping up with LPY. Doesn't want to break the train. Doesn't want to lose any position. Doesn't want to lose any momentum. But Trent is so close to him that he might be able to make the maneuver in corner 4 down the inside. But let's see. RP James is coming back from the pits, and he's going to rejoin back in P10 position, I believe, or P11 or P12 actually, just ahead of Pierre Hansen. Yep. And if you have any questions, please write them to me. I will try to answer them as quickly as I possibly can. You can ask me about everything: life, Formula 1, death, basically anything you will enjoy, like, and do, you can write it to me. And now LPY has caught up towards J Prentice, so J Prentice is going to be like a sitting duck with those old 12 lap old hard tires. So he's gonna be like a sitting duck, and he will get overtaken by this train, or then he'll have to make the greatest overtaking defending of our lives. LPY is getting the ERS and DRS in the same time, but he's saving his ERS and doesn't go for the maneuver wide here. Waits for a better opportunity. There's actually Williams driver of Kevin Harrison, who's trying to attack the New Zealand cam. LPY is going side by side with J Prentice, and who will give in? And it looks like easy maneuver for LPY, and possibly he's going to be able to make a small gap towards the drivers behind, as Jack King and the rest of the guys have to pass the toll also very quickly if they want to keep up with LPY's train. But this train has been following each other very closely for the last few laps. It's been very neat and nice battles, no crashing outs, no side-by-side collisions. Very neat and professional stuff from these drivers. Just the way it should be. A New Zealand cam getting 3-second top penalty. DSI Tech leaving from the race. Of course, he has retired a long time ago. We have basically 4 retirements in the race, 4 retirements in 1 DNS. And now J Prentice is gonna get attacked by Jack King 32, who also has 14 lap old hard set of tires, so they're both in the same set of tires. And in the back we have Kevin Harrison going side by side with New Zealand cam, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Is gonna be New Zealand cam or Kevin Harrison who's gonna win the position, and it looks like it's Kevin Harrison who has moved himself back to P8 position. But New Zealand cam is going side by side with him, but Kevin Harrison will have the DRS wide open, and Snookster has left from the session. He's had enough, he's basically retired, but New Zealand cam is keeping it on the outside and a little bit touch, but that will move Kevin Harrison back in P8 position. And quickly I'm gonna save the stream, because I'm gonna make race highlights, guys, so there we go. Because the game only allows you to save up to 60 minutes, so I have to always basically in the middle of the race, a little bit before middle of the race, to save the clip to get the race highlights. But there's a massive train now behind J Prentice, so how long will this train go on? Possibly can go on. And Felix Negua is now 1.3 seconds behind of Little Manino, so if he can get behind 1 second, we'll have a great battle for P1 position. And we have DRS wide open. J Prentice is opening his DRS and putting his DRS up to maximum, but it's not enough against LPY, but that will keep him ahead of Jack King 32. And we have Kevin Harrison moving up the positions. He's going side by side with Trent HT21, and who will give in? Who has the bigger cojones? And it looks like Kevin Harrison wants Trent a little bit wide, but he gets the maneuver done and moves himself to P7 position, and that will automatically promote New Zealand cam to P8 because of Trent HT running wide, and LPY getting a 3-second top penalty for multiple warnings. LPY already 12 seconds behind of the top 3, so I believe the top 3 without a safety car is already settled, or without mistakes, disconnections or anything, yada yada yada. New Zealand cam getting another 3-second time penalty, so not the best race for New Zealand cam towards the time penalties. Kevin Aspect's next victim is going to be Jack King 32. So Kevin Harrison is making steady progress towards the field, and New Zealand cam following him very closely. Jack King 32 right behind of J Prentice, but of course J Prentice